You're gonna like this guy. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us.
Welcome back. It's been a few weeks. There's been a lot of stuff happening, and I can't wait to catch everybody up on what's been going on. So, George, how are we doing?
Mate, what an eventful 3 weeks.
I think it's been 3 weeks, man, yeah.
I believe it was episode 1 of The Good Life. I actually mentioned in it that the privilege of being safe in your environment, and back in the day, they used to have bombs coming overhead and missiles coming overhead, and we can just be in our houses with no worry of that. You got to be careful what you say because it changed pretty quickly, but most eventful 3 weeks maybe of my life, UAE's history, would you say?
I mean, it's mad, isn't it? I mean, we've been speaking about how ironic it is that we said that. And I think for me, obviously, I've only arrived here, 3 months ago and gone through, if you want to call it a war, in the middle of a war, going through, meant to receive tornadoes today. So definitely seeing it all. But yeah, like a lot has changed, right? I mean, just even the small stuff, having to postpone our episodes, and we're on a real roll with that. And we've been working on stuff in the background. But yeah, it has changed a few bits. How have you navigated it? How have you found it?
It's been difficult, I think, especially with Roman being off of nursery, Beth not being at work as well, everyone being in the house and just having the concerns and worries. And I think a big concern as well is you don't know what to believe. I don't think anyone really actually knows what's going on. So it's just about trying to gather as much information as you can and make a decision that you think is right and kind of sticking with that decision, because at the end of the day, no one knows what's going to happen really. So I feel sorry for the people like yourself, and I know other friends and clients who have just moved here as well. And I think moving your life from wherever you've moved from to the UAE is a massive thing anyway. And there's a lot of misconceptions that come with the Dubai and UAE. I remember when we first moved, and it took a bit of convincing to Beth to actually come here, and then having this on top of it just kind of takes that risk to a whole new level. But you've stuck through it. It's going to make us stronger, and I'm sure we'll come out on the other side soon.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as well, I think I said to you a while ago, if I hadn't been back here in the past, I probably would have been like, where am I? Like, what have I got myself into? But knowing what it is like 99% of the time, like, I have no worries. And that's why I feel pretty calm throughout this period. Obviously, I think there's two ends of the spectrum that you see online a lot, right? You've got the people who literally say there's zero risk and nothing matters, it's all good. And then you've got people who are like, no, it's over. Dubai's falling down. We need to get out. I think sort of somewhere in the middle is sort of probably where I am. Probably more to the calmer side, I think. I think it's more like the disruptions and stuff, and obviously the alerts everybody gets. But I think you actually get used to them quite quick. I mean, I remember the first one, I think it was like 1:30 in the morning and that wasn't ideal because I never experienced something like that. No. And you obviously don't know how dangerous that is. I mean, obviously receiving an alarm about getting to shelter isn't ideal ever, but you don't really know if that's a threat right in your location.
Initially, we didn't know what was going on. So when you're hearing that alert, you're thinking, get down. Under. You know, everyone was actually under the staircases. And now it's got to a point where we kind of understand that an alert isn't, a bomb directly dropping on us. It's an interception, and it's actually safety in a weird way now. That's the way that my mind's gone to it, is that I very much trust what the UAE are doing, the way that they're protecting us, and I think it's just elevated that trust. For me, I've always very much trusted the UAE government, the UAE system, which is a big part of why I wanted to stay here as well, because I truly believe that if it wasn't safe enough for us and our families, they would tell us. Like, I was here during COVID. It was actually the time that I moved. And they weren't messing around with COVID. I mean, it was everyone locked in. You get a pass to come out and get your food once a week, and their drones monitoring the situation to keep everyone safe for that short time period. So whereas, let's say, going back to the UK, I don't know if I would have that same level of trust with the government, which I guess is why I've kind of just stayed put. It seems like there's almost no great option, but I feel like in a time of reaction and everyone moving and just what's going on, I almost feel like it's just best just to stay where you are. I think as soon as you get out of that environment, that's where things can happen. That's where threat comes. That's the way I've seen it. I'm not saying it's right at all, especially when you've got 3 young kids and the twins are 5, nearly 6 months. I can't think of anything worse than getting to the airport, which is under high threat. So yeah, it's a difficult time. It's like, what is the answer? But hopefully it will all calm down soon. I
think it will. I mean, it's already calmed down. We're like, 3-4 weeks into this now, and it is calming down, right? And I remember saying to you the other day at the gym, like, you just got to do what you think's best for you. You can't go off what you see. If you done, you'll be living someone else's life essentially, right? You have to do what you think's right for you, your family, your loved ones, whoever it is. Just going back to what you said about feeling like the UAE do what's best for you, mate. I couldn't agree more. Like, I literally couldn't agree more. It's strange how patriotic I feel already about the UAE, and it does feel like they really do have like your best interests at heart.
They just tell you direct. Like, they'll just send an alert to your phone when there's something coming, or they'll just post out all the exact stats on social media from the trusted channels as well. But social media has been a tricky one, right, over the past few weeks. And I think that's just, like you kind of said earlier, like there's people one way or the other. And I think it's just because that's what kind of sells and gets clicks and gets views. Man. When we know it's somewhere probably in the middle, maybe on the lower end, I agree with you on that as well. But it's not, if you post that on social media, it's not going to get views, it's not going to get clicks as well. So I think it's been one of the first times in my life, really, where I've actually taken myself off of social media, especially from what the UK are putting out there as well. I think it's very like scarcity. I've found that actually my circle here in the UAE being quite controlled, the people I know, it's more from people back in the UK. Obviously what they're hearing is like tragic, right? I mean, they said your children are in the middle of a war zone, get them out urgently. And then we're all here like going to the gym's packed, busy, everyone's just cracking on with normal life. I'm not saying it's perfect, of course not. It's not an ideal situation at all. But I don't think it's that extreme.
Oh, we went for a roast dinner Saturday, right? Yeah. It wasn't Sunday, but we went for a roast dinner with everyone.
Roast dinner on a Saturday is criminal, isn't it? Ben's first roast dinner in Dubai. What did you think? First roast dinner in Dubai. How did it compare to UK?
It was nice, man. I think it's one of those things, isn't it? Everything in the UAE is just as good, even if it's not like traditional from its roots. It's classic roast dinner on a Sunday in the UK. It was nice. It was needed. It was definitely needed. Absolutely. I've been craving one for so long. And no, it definitely ticked the box.
And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from this situation is how to try and get out and live normality in a way, as long as the government advise that you're allowed to do that. I think it's very important, because the more you're indoors, the more you're alone in isolation, the worse it seems in a way. Because if you're indoors, you're just going to be looking at social media, you're going to be looking at your phone, you know you're going to see the wrong things, and it just heightens you. So for me, I've even tried not to even ask advice to everyone or everyone else's opinions. I've just tried to, I guess, like gather what I think is the credible sources. So for me, it's looking at the data and the numbers and what the official government pages are releasing, trusted sources, ex-military, security professionals, and not even just that they know the exact situation, but it's more them kind of people. I want to see how they're reacting, because they've got families, they've got children. How are they moving during this chaos? And if all of them are bouncing, that's probably going to send alarm bells for me. But it's almost like all of them credible sources all stayed put. So for me, that's quite a good thing to kind of put me at ease as well. And again, even just for me, I've been coaching a lot of pilots. We've been coaching a lot of pilots. So speaking to them as well, what's their perspective? Because they understand, the airline and what's going on, and if planes are going up and what they think, and they seem to be very calm and collective. And obviously they have to be with their job and their role. So for me, it's about listening to them and then making our own decision as a family, I think. And first and foremost comes safety. Like, are you going to be safe? If I generally thought it wasn't safe, 100%. I would bounce, I would be gone. And then after that, it's just about making sure, I guess, like the economy can still continue. And also I feel a bit patriotic for me as well, because I was looking, and me and Beth haven't actually had a stint since being adults living in Portsmouth, where we're from. So we grew up in Portsmouth, and at 18, I went to America. Beth went to London. Then I moved to London with Beth. Had 5 years nearly in London, and then here for 5 years. So when it's like return home, it kind of feels like this is home for us now in a way. I started my online business here, got married here, had all 3 children here, and this feels like this is our protective environment in a weird way. It's hard to explain.
No, I get it. I think it's nice to be patriotic about something though, right? And I think it's just you're almost returning the faith and the belief that you feel is being shown to you, right? By the government, by the leaders, etc.
Look at this life that they're giving us access to. It's incredible.
Great, and like how open they are to everyone coming in, and they just want people to succeed, right? And I feel like if you just bounce, like, I don't know. I think obviously you have to do what's right for you. I think that's the key thing. And for me, I don't feel in immediate danger. I don't.
I think a lot of people who have gone home actually feel like there's genuine danger. So that's fair enough, right? If they think that their family is 100% in danger, then they're making the best move for their family's safety, first and foremost. So, yeah, it's hard to know. There's no real answers. But has there been any other big realizations for you going through all of this?
I think, again, I feel like common sense is something that just gets lost these days massively. Like you said, if it doesn't get clicks or views, then it's almost doesn't seem to be as important, right? So if someone just plays something down and like there's no risk, people be interested in that, make it super extreme and everything's falling apart, everyone wants to be interested in that. And it's just a shame because almost the stuff that actually is happening in reality, that isn't interesting or it doesn't get you clicks or whatever it may be. And it's just ignored. And I feel like people go out their way to make things worse than it is, or just to be different, to stand out. I think that goes through in life in most industries. You see it online, especially in our industry, like with fitness and stuff, it's so extreme, right? Everything you see is so extreme. Got people running, a marathon used to be impressive, for example. Now you've got to do like an ultra. Now you've got to do as many rounds during an ultra as you possibly can, whatever it is. It's just always that more, always wanting more, which is great in some aspects. But I just think, for me, it just is about trusting yourself and doing what's best for you and the people around you. And I think that's all you can do. And everyone will have different perceptions of what that is, right? But we're still here. I'm so glad. Like me and Johanna, we were talking and we had no interest in leaving, like zero chance, not even crossed our mind. The only negative thing for me is obviously I'm waiting to get my dog over, right? So I'm actually trying to invest in it and get someone over.
Yeah.
So that's been delayed for 3-4 weeks now, which is awful. But other than that, everything's been pretty normal. I mean, there's been no food shortages, right? We got told we're going to be starving. There's going to be no water to drink.
Everything. It's been
crazy.
Insane. Honestly, it's to kind of stay put through this. To be fair, I've never been had so much kind of tension and pressure to just like do something different, and I'm glad that I stuck with it now. But yeah, like you said, that we were gonna have no water and that we're gonna have no food, and there was a part where like my community was apparently gonna get like carpet bombed, all of this stuff, and you're looking at it thinking, is this real? And I kind of knew it, but there is a doubt in the back of your mind. But yeah, I'm glad that we've stuck through it, and I think it's definitely going to make us stronger kind of being here, especially for me, Beth and the kids as a family unit. I definitely feel like it's kind of brung us together because it has been challenging and sometimes opposing views and whatnot, but we've kind of come together and feel like we've made a joint decision now. So
I think as well, just build strength for other things to come, right? Like you can never plan for stuff like this. No. And something I always say is like control what you can control. If you are focused on what you can't control, you are wasting so much energy.
Yeah.
You have no idea what's going to happen, but there are certain things you can control. You can decide if you want to try and be a bit more positive, if you want to go for walks in the day to clear your mind a little bit, if you want to meet up with people that are still here, if you want to turn socials off, like if you know that's impacting you in a negative way, you can control that.
Yeah.
You can control that. I know for me, I've been on X more than ever. Like I never even really used it other than for mainly sports and a little bit of news here and there, but it was so sporadic. But I'm fully like involved in it at the moment.
Yeah.
But I am in full control of that. I know I could turn that off instantly. I feel like I've almost got a bit of a duty just to keep an eye on what's going on. But I've still trained. We've still got on with our work. If anything, we've locked in more. We're still going out for coffee and doing whatever. And maybe we've made slight changes, like maybe not going so far away from communities where you live and where you stay. But again, there's so much we can't control, but there's so much we can control. And if you focus on what we can control, it will feel so much better in everything, not just this situation now, just in life in general. It's something I use all the time.
Yeah, I think the whole situation has just caused more disruption. I know that people have sadly lost their lives as well, and I don't even want to get into the stats of comparing that to elsewhere in the world and some of the stats there, but it's just disrupted the economy and the flow of it. And for me, I think that's another reason I've wanted to stay. I've wanted to support and just keep things going because, if I go and the family go, that's maybe taken away from a business and whatnot. But I think training has been, for me, maybe it's changed my perspective on training a little bit. For me, it's been less probably about data and numbers and figures and just having those foundations in place to make me feel good. And it's actually one thing I spoke to Beth about because there was a time where she wasn't working and just indoors all day, and it just drives you insane. And now she's been getting out and going to dance for an hour and do something for herself for an hour, and you come back just with a complete different energy. And I think that's what the gym has served a purpose for me. It maybe hasn't been all out progression with the running maybe, but that's I think because I'm starting off, but it's more just about being about turning up and just doing something for yourself, moving your body, and what it does for your mind is just incredible. Honestly, it's like sometimes your problems can disappear in a way, or they just seem less heavy after you've moved your body.
100%. There's that saying, isn't there? Like movement is medicine.
Yeah.
And like, it does feel like it in this moment of time. Like, I mean, I think about it all the time, mate. Like if you're unwell or if you're just under the weather a little bit, you feel stressed, like if you move your body, even if it's just going for a walk, like you can clear your head and give you a whole different perception on everything that's going on. And like you say, right now, control what you can control. And there's some things that can remain normal. Like the gyms haven't shut.
Yeah.
Like if there was that sort of danger, there's no way they would allow hundreds of people in one place. I mean, we go to warehouse, right? And how busy is that? Like on the daily, it's nuts.
It's funny that you look at
crazy.
Somewhere like warehouse where it has probably the most advanced athletes and it's like the busiest gym. I think honestly, there's something to be said with like people with that level of like testosterone still like staying calm under pressure and just training. But it's crazy times. And the other thing that I think has changed my perspective on is connecting with people, and even like me and you getting out, going and having a coffee, getting together with your family, doing things. And even for me with the running in particular, I feel like running is a thing that you can just bring people along and you can kind of do together. Obviously, we've started our track sessions now every Tuesday. So if anyone is watching and you're in Dubai, we're going to be running a track session every Tuesday, 6 a.m. start. All levels are welcome. You can run at your own pace. And just bringing people together there, going for a coffee afterwards. Even if I'm doing my run around my neighbourhoods, I'm messaging our little group chat. Does anyone want to join me? And then we go for a little walk, a little chat after. And what it makes you realise is everyone is in the same situation as you. And it kind of like normalises the struggle. And you can chat about the issues that come with that as well. Even the class that I've been doing in my community on a Saturday, just getting everyone together, and the buzz is just amazing. We actually had one class where there was an alert, a warning. We had some choppers flying overhead, and I was like, no, everyone keep going. Don't get distracted. Drop down and do your burpees. But again, when you're looking in the sky, that's just protection now for us. Absolutely. That's the way I see it. But yeah, I think the point is the power of people, connection, community, and just sharing these thoughts, the highs and the lows.
I think as well, like how we just had, obviously, what day is it today? Thursday, right? So on Tuesday, a couple of days ago, we had our track session. We had a couple of new people turn up, and like getting their messages after, they were so hyped, weren't they? And they loved it. And again, it's like us just serving people. And it's just us like providing somewhere where people can go of all levels, connect, meet new people. And the amount of interest we've had in it in a matter of weeks is amazing, isn't it? It's really good. And we haven't even launched everything yet regarding it and sort of what's happening behind it. So it's a really exciting prospect. And it's something obviously me and you will go into a bit later probably about what we're going to do. But yeah, the power of connection and community and being around like-minded people is the most powerful thing. Yeah. I think, again, if you surround yourself in this situation or just day-to-day life with negative people who are going to feed that negativity, to feed that fear, there's only one way you're going to go.
No.
You just absorb that, right? You're around good people with positive energy, want to better themselves. You're only going one way, and that's up. And again, that's one of the things you can control. You can control who you hang around with. You can control who you communicate with. Like, you get to control that. We are very fortunate we're in that position, right? Obviously, you mentioned about doing a class. You've done a huge class, didn't you, with somebody a few weeks ago. And it went really, really well. So give everyone a bit of information on that, mate.
Yeah, so Ant Middleton is the name. Don't want to name drop. But
we've had a few already.
Christ, I'm always doing that. I need to stop that. But I actually met him in the gym. Pompey lads, local from Cosham, yes. I believe. Don't expose too many secrets about him, but I know his son, Oakley, his oldest son, he was a few years younger than me at school. And I wanted to go and say hello. We connected that way, exchanged numbers. And then he obviously mentioned about running a boot camp and getting involved and kind of being his right-hand man for that and helping. He was obviously going to lead the session. I'm not going to step in and lead a session when Ant Middleton's there. I mean, this is a big name, big character, years of experience. Actually tested me as well, because when you're a fitness coach and then you're with someone who's, gone to that level in the military, it's actually very different styles of fitness. So I was just there just to help and welcome. And it's been something that I've been doing on a smaller level with my guys in my community anyway. So I felt privileged when he asked me that, and it was great to learn from him, and also just the power of, Ant has obviously throughout this period been documenting his thoughts, his perspective on the whole situation. He's a family man, got children, so I feel like a lot of the Brits in Dubai have been listening to him, including me and Beth, and all of us have been watching his stuff. He's been doing a great job at just keeping everyone calm, measured, and then when he said he was going to lead that session, it was incredible. It made me realise how quick he takes action. So he said, do you want to run this boot camp? I think it was Saturday evening. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And he said, perfect, see you tomorrow morning at X time. And I was like, okay, let's go. If that's how we roll. Usually for me, I would be sitting down planning, but this guy has so much experience. He knows how to run a session without even writing anything down, right? He's been doing it years. And I think over 125 people turned up to the session, and a lot of people have been indoors, isolated. And again, it just shows the power of community, everyone, training together. There was a lot of partner workouts and stuff like that. It was a good challenge. And then even after, there was a guy who owns Costa Coffee in Arabian Ranches where we did the session, and he opened up Costa Coffee just for unlimited drinks for everyone. So everyone kind of playing their part in helping out the community. And I feel like it was just what everyone needed. I mean, there were so many things online, people saying that was just what they needed so much. How good it felt to be around other people who are in the same kind of mindset as them, obviously doing a workout. A lot of people haven't probably been training that much over this time as well. So yeah, it was an amazing thing, and just shows the power of the people.
Just reinforces everything, doesn't it? Reinforces everything we just spoke about the last 10 minutes about people coming together. And we were talking about the track, like 5, 6, 7 people, like a much smaller scale. And you're talking, it still has the same effect whether you got 5, 6 people together or 120, 130 people together. Like, it's powerful. It is really powerful. And like you say, I think, unfortunately, sometimes you need bad times to realize the importance of certain stuff. I think we take stuff for granted, right? And maybe you have the opportunity to get out and do something with a friend or your family. Maybe you don't have the urgency, you don't see it as important when things are pretty calm and just take day by day. But when things are a little bit tougher, I think what's important does come to light a little bit more.
Yeah.
And again, these guys, would that have been the same turnout? It might have been, but it'd be interesting to see, would that be the same turnout if everything was normal? You know, if all the situations were normal. And I'm sure the opportunity to go to a boot camp with yourself and Ant is amazing, and I'm sure so many people would have jumped at the opportunity. But it'd be interesting to see, you know, like you say, people feeling isolated and that desire for connection. And the sort of day and age we live in today, AI, so many remote jobs and stuff like that, it's something that's getting lost. It's 100% getting lost. And if you don't actively look for those connections or make the effort for them to happen, they will deteriorate, right?
Absolutely. No, definitely. That's how originally, so I don't know if I run through it on the podcast, but I've been running our group class in Arabian Ranches Free now for about a year. We just hit our year anniversary of running the session. And that literally started from, I had a surgery when I had appendicitis and I couldn't train for 4-6 weeks. And I was like, usually I'm training for 60 minutes a day and 6 days a week. I've gained like 6 hours back in my week, and I want to still be involved in some element of training. So I saw a few people doing some workouts around my community, and I asked them, what are you doing? I was just intrigued, and they said, we don't know what we're doing. We're just trying to move and just get together. And I was like, that is just great energy. Like, people just getting out. They have no clue what they're doing. They're kind of just like, you do an exercise or whatever. I love that. And I said, well, I'm free at this time next week. Like, I'll run you through a session. Like, I'm a coach. I put it in the group, and then everyone's like, yeah, I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. I think we've got over 300 people in the group now, a year on. And it's just stemmed from that idea that you mentioned earlier, that whether you help like one person, 10 people, 50 people, 100 people, like, it's just about getting together. And I also like massively enjoy the sessions. They're great for me because, you know, when I was a personal trainer on the gym floor, I was always seeing people, always speaking, interactive. Me and you are social guys. And then when you go to online coaching, it's amazing for the results and the impact you can make, but you are behind the computer all day. So it's just made me realise, the power of just getting out and speaking to people, and actually, like, I don't know, it feels like I'm in my natural environment when I'm around people as well, which I guess is going to lead us on to what we're doing next, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's so exciting, and it's essentially, how do you want to, I guess we can just go into it right now.
You introduce it.
So we, this mission started, something we spoke about for a long time, probably like years, like just actually dipping our toes in, like, would we ever work together? What could we do? What service could we provide?
Everything, and we
literally everything. Yeah, honestly, everything you can think of. Me and George have sort of had a discussion about, could we do that? How do we do that? And when did we start putting the wheels in motion? I mean, what was it? About 6 weeks ago, we started putting the wheels in motion properly. Quite a
quick turnover, I would say.
Really quick. But essentially, we're joining forces, and we're going to bring a new level of coaching, a new level of community. We're going all in. So obviously, we both own our own brands at the moment with Modern Leader and Strive On. And we're essentially, we don't want to say like folding them, we're essentially just merging them into one. And this brand is going to be called The Good Life. And The Good Life Coaching, TGL Coaching, is going to be the foundation of this. And it's going to be about everything from obviously expert coaching, getting results, getting people to where they want to be. But it's going to be much more than that. It's going to be taking people to their first marathon, their half marathon, High Rocks event, whatever it may be, maybe their first photo shoot. Going to be huge in the community. We want to push the community more than anything, right? Yeah. And it's funny because obviously everything that's happened here, it's actually made us double down on our mission.
Yeah. It's not possibly the worst time on paper to launch a new business, right? But in a way, it's kind of made us realise like we're needed more than ever. And this message is actually needed more than ever. And I think when we were putting this together, I mean, yeah, first of all, when you combine forces and you find someone, which is very lucky, where you have a very similar belief and philosophy on life, health, fitness, and how that comes into one, that's very rare in itself. And then secondly, we thrive being around people, helping people, coaching people. How can we take our, regular one-to-one coaching service that has been getting amazing results and making an impact, but then adding that in person, that community, that get together feel, the events and everything like that. So I feel like it's been a big missing piece. Like when, for me and probably for yourself as well, I know we've had this discussion, when we look at the fitness industry as a whole, it's missing real life connection. And I think as the world goes towards AI and everything being done for us so easily, like we need to be around people who are going to push us. Even I've realized that starting my running recently, and you moving to Dubai, like going for a run and you pushing me and telling me like I can do this and I can do that, it's made me push more and find new levels. So yeah, the mission's on.
Absolutely. It's so exciting, isn't it? Like how hungry are we for this? Like it's unbelievable. And again, it's taking everything we already know and just making it so much better.
Yeah.
And there is only so much you can do as one person. And as George said, it's very difficult to find someone who you are really aligned with. And it just happens we're best pals in the same industry. Like it's an unbelievable opportunity. I mean, we've already done so much in the background. We've got all our community together and in WhatsApp and stuff like that, celebrating people already completing marathons. And we've got a photo shoot Sunday, getting our tracks day sorted. Like there's so much already in such a short turnaround, and everyone's so positive. And yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be very exciting. I think something you touched on as well, where we sort of looking at missing pieces. I think as coaches, and it's something I'm so hot on, is our job is to serve people. Our job isn't to really go train or post these amazing times on Strava. That's not our job. Our job is almost to facilitate people doing that. Yeah. I think it's important we lead by example. Absolutely, to show that we can take care of ourselves, to show that we practice what we preach. Absolutely. But again, with just a quote we were talking about earlier, and I wrote it down, and the quote literally reads is, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people to get what they want. And that's just so powerful, isn't it? And that's sort of the foundation of what we're doing. We sat down and thought, how can we make our service better? How can we give our current clients, all our future clients, the best experience, the best service in the whole industry?
Yeah.
But again, not just coaching, everything else. And I am so confident of what it's going to do for people's lives who are going to be involved. I'm so excited. I can't explain.
Yeah, no, it's going to be incredible. And I think, like, going back to your point there of serving people, I think it's an amazing belief system to follow, even if you're not a coach, if I'm honest. I think, to be honest, I think this is why sometimes people feel a little bit lost in their life or a little bit depressed in a way, if they want to say that, because the only thing that really matters to them is themselves, and maybe they just kind of lose that will for themselves. Whereas if you've got people who you need to help and you need to serve, like in my life, I'm working to help people and have an impact. I've also got my family that I'm trying to work for and trying to work hard to be a great role model, father, example, for my wife, for my children, and also for my clients. And I feel like when you're helping all of these people, it just like fires you up. It makes me want to wake up in the morning. And I remember there was a period of my life where I felt a little bit empty, and why haven't I got that push and that spark that we had when we were young and we were just starting off? Maybe that was more of like a sports environment that we were in. And I think the missing piece, honestly, like as soon as I had Roman, my mindset flipped instantly to, right, I've got a new purpose and it's service. And then it went to, serving clients. And when you're in that mindset, it's just incredible. And to hear from people how much like their life has changed and the impact it's had. The best one for me is when you speak to people's partners and they've seen it and they've got impacted from that as well. Like I had one client, I won't mention any names, but he kind of got in shape and went through his transformation, and his daughter, who's always struggled with weight issues, lost a lot of weight and got way more happy and confident, and that transferred into her like going out and socializing more and being out with her friends. And literally, it's just her dad has just gone through his own transformation. He hasn't even forced anything upon her. She's gone for a walk when he's gone for a walk. She's ate the dinner, what he's having, just in a smaller portion. And look how that's changed their family's life, really. It's nuts.
It almost sounds like it's too extreme to be true, doesn't it? Like it does. When you talk about like what results you can actually get, it doesn't even sound feasible. It sounds like you're making it very dramatic, but it's true. Like the amount of times people will say like, you've changed my life, or you've done this for my family, you've done this for my relationship. It's insane. Again, I've had similar stuff. I worked with a guy it's quite a while ago now, maybe 6 to 8 months ago, and his sort of time within the service was coming to the end. There was changes in his job, and his partner reached out and she messaged me. She was like, "Oh, how much would it be for him to stay on for another 6 months? I'm going to pay for it all because I can see the benefit it's having in him. It's making our relationship better. It's making him at work like he's waking up with energy. He feels like he's got more purpose." And she actually funded like another 6 months of service just because she could see the benefits it was bringing him. And again, if you're in a better place, it's going to bring everyone up around you.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely, mate. And I think that's something we are just going to double down on. Not just, yes, like training is going to be huge, nutrition is going to be huge, of course, but it's all the other areas. We want people to be waking up with a purpose, be passionate about their work, understand the importance of relationships. And I mean, the community is already, obviously it's very new, the community we've put together, but we've genuinely got people all over the world. And I think what we can provide to people, it is going to be amazing. And it's a really exciting place to be.
And I guess just to go over our mission as well. So I guess our nemesis of the good life is the average life, and what goes into the average life. I've written down a few notes here: sedentary, stressed, unhealthy, and distracted. I think that's a lot of people suffering with that, right? That's the mission that we're trying to counter in a way. A lot of people are sat down a lot behind screens. Even when we moved to being online, like I realise that's a big issue, even throughout this period that we're going through right now, where everyone's indoors more. Even with Roman, like he's got a device in front of him a lot of the times, and it's trying to keep him doing something else. The stress and then probably health getting put to the back of the pile, and the good life being the complete opposite, being strong, disciplined, energetic, adventurous. As well, we've talked about some group hikes, some group events, traveling to different parts of the world to maybe do certain runs, and connected to your life. And I think waking up every day excited about the day ahead. Like, honestly, since we've been doing this and the impact that we've started to make from launching it so far, like I've got to a point where it's hard to go to sleep because I'm so excited about the next day. And it's so hard to get to that place, but it's honestly possible for people to get to that, where you're excited to go to the gym and you want to eat healthy and you want to do these things because you know the benefit of them. It's just experiencing it, feeling it. And once you feel it I'll say to my clients, like 2 weeks, just do 2 weeks of this and then make your judgment. Like if you want, like, I don't know, if someone wants to stop, I don't want to do this kind of lifestyle. Do it properly for 2 weeks because you haven't been doing it properly. So you're kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Do it properly for 2 weeks. And if you get to the end of the 2 weeks and you want to quit, I will be mind blown.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why would you want the opposite, the alternative? I know it's hard, but it's especially early on, it's harder because your body's maybe not used to it. You're going through an adaptation phase. But once your body adapts to that, it's fun, right? Going for a run and the time coming down, going to the gym and getting stronger, the energy. For me, I've been noticing like the health metrics on Whoop have been improving, and it just makes you want to have more of it as well. So
it's that drive, isn't it? It just gives you that drive. And it's something that we want to push as well. Again, it's much more than just your fitness, your nutrition. And we just want to build people up, essentially. Like you say, we want to take them away from what is probably the normal life, the average life, or it's probably the normal life for the large majority of people. We want to bring the good life and everything that brings. And I think something that when we was coming up with the name, we were talking about what can we call it? What should we do? And it's sort of, the good life is different for everyone, right? So if you ask someone what the good life is, they might have a different answer to someone else. But if you asked everyone, I can pretty much guarantee that people would say they want to be healthy, right? Yeah. So that's always going to be there. Meaningful relationships are important, right? You can't enjoy anything without those meaningful relationships. You can have all the money in the world, but again, if your health's not there, your relationships aren't there, it's probably not going to be a great place to be. If you can't have that purposeful work or whatever it may be, again, you're not going to enjoy that. But something I go back to all the time is people don't understand how great it feels to be in shape, to be healthy. People, until you've experienced it properly, you don't know.
No.
You literally don't know. What you hear all the time.
Everyone's got to give themselves just 6 months. Just go in. 6 months is a nice time frame, because 3 months sometimes is a little bit rushed, and I don't know, you've got socials or travel, disrupts it a little bit. And also people sometimes live this kind of bad lifestyle for 3-4 years and then obviously expect it like that. 8 weeks. Obviously 6 months is nothing really in the grand scheme of things for that. But I think a very important message of the good life as well, which when we were thinking of the name straight away, when you actually mentioned it to me, I think maybe you texted it or messaged me, I was like, it just has such a good ring to it. The good life, always think of Kanye West, T-Pain song, such a banger as well. Or in short, TGL, which is nice for the coaching. I think it's also important to emphasize that it's not just this kind of like incredible life. There's a lot that goes into it, and that's why we actually kind of put the mottos as built, not given, or what's built in the dark is shown in the light, because ultimately to have that life, there's going to be some trade-offs that you need to make in order to get it. That might be waking up, going to sleep early, waking up early, putting yourself through some pain in the gym with your training, working hard and focusing at work and not just going in and like half-assing it, being disciplined, planning, being structured. But ultimately, if that's a life you want the good life, this is the price you pay. You're willing to pay it? If you are, here you go.
I think as well, like it is that trade-off, right? And there's that other classic saying, which is like you get to choose your hard.
Yeah.
So you got the hard of where you feel extremely tired all the time. You've got no energy. You're waking up miserable. Everything's not trending in a positive way. That's hard. But also you can choose another hard, which is maybe making sure your food's prepped, maybe making sure you designate 20, 30 minutes each day to make sure you go for a walk to get some extra steps in. You track when you're going to sleep. You try and wake up at similar times. All of those things get into the gym. That's hard.
Yeah.
But so's the other way. So which way do you want to go?
And even the downturns in your life eventually being net positives. I think, again, it's important to talk about the lows. Like I personally believe, let's say with the situation in the UAE right now, I think it's going to make them like honestly like an unstoppable force in the future. I think it's going to make them so strong and resilient, and the people who are going to be here are going to obviously be way more invested in it. And I remember when we had the floods in Dubai a while back, the proper ones which were bad. Dubai come out of that and they reinvented their like sewage system and the way they drain water, and they took that as feedback of like, that can't happen again. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes tonight.
See when we go outside.
We'll see if their test has worked. But they've got the mindset of like, that's what needs to be improved straight away. And that kind of downturn almost like being a strength for them. And this downturn, they're probably going to go away from this and think about how they can make this place even more bulletproof and protected in the future. Already, obviously, it's doing a great job at that. But that will be their mindset. And that's what the good life is all about. Like through the downturns, like their character building moments is ultimately going to lead you to, growing. It's like breaking down muscle in the gym and it growing back stronger. So
we talk about one of the pillars being like mental strength, right? Mental resilience. This is all a part of it. Because you are going to have, I always say to clients, and you will say the same, when you're going on that journey, it's not always up like this.
No.
It will go down a little bit. You might pick up an illness, or work might be horrendous. You might have so much stress on at work for the time being, or something. I've been working with a few people who've got a few niggles here and there, or they've had a lot on at work. But it doesn't mean the journey. It doesn't mean the destination or the goal changes, right? It just, the journey may change a little bit. And through the times which are rubbish, and mate, everyone goes through them, right? Everyone's got their own issues and stuff that goes on behind the scenes, which people do find hard. But again, you can decide sort of how you get out with that. Do you want to sit in that forever, or do you want to sit with that for the moment, understand it, and then try and come back a little bit stronger? Yeah. And again, that is involved. The good life isn't about all sunshine and roses and stuff like that. Like, there are going to be downturns, but I can guarantee you, like, everything we're going to put in place and what we're going to be able to provide people, if you get on board, you're only coming out as a winner. It's as simple as that.
Zooming out, looking at the yearly period, like
Absolutely.
You would a positive stock, hopefully not a negative one, right? And how that would play out. There's going to be them downturns and they bounce back. And I guess another good example is one of my long-serving clients, Harry, who's obviously now part of the Good Life. He's preparing for his first Hyrox event.
Yes.
He's always said he's never going to do one. Shout out Harry. But he's been challenged by his lady friend, let's put it.
Nothing else needs to be said.
Nothing else needs to be said on that she will beat him. His ego is taken over and he said, absolutely not. But anyway, that's a different story. He's got his first Hyrox coming, so that will definitely be posting his results.
Absolutely.
If they're good.
Yeah.
We'll be posting his results. He'll smash it. He's a fit guy. But when he was going through his initial transformation, so I guess the goal with the Good Life is if someone comes in, the first thing we want to sort out is their body composition, because we don't want them carrying extra weight and body fat that's not needed. We want them lean and looking athletic before we get them athletic. So the body composition is sorted first. We then teach them how to maintain that so they don't rebound. And then from there, it's about, right, what do we now want to do with this new lean body? Like, do we want to add muscle to it? Do we want to build strength and maybe make you more bulletproof and less injury prone? Do we want to train towards a half marathon or a Hyrox, whatever it may be? But anyway, diverting a little bit. When Harry was in his initial body recomposition phase and he was working towards a photo shoot and he was on track to look incredible, and he did look incredible, and he got an injury in his elbow, a tennis elbow. I think he was playing a lot of golf every day, and the physio told him you can't train any upper body. and he's preparing for a photo shoot. No upper.
Yeah, it's for a while as well, wasn't
And
it?
Harry is a bro. He's just training upper every day. Like, I can't get this guy to train legs. So we have a conversation and I'm thinking, you know, he's just going to throw in the towel. This journey's going to be over. But I'm always going to push people and challenge people. Like, what can we control? Like you said earlier, like we can control your legs. We can control your core and your midsection.
Yeah.
And actually it turned out to be his biggest strength because he said, yeah, absolutely. Like, why would I stop? He actually had such a positive mindset towards it. He was training legs twice a week. Bear in mind, he's barely training legs properly once a week. He was just going in and doing leg extension, hamstring.
Yeah, the classic.
Now he's going in, you know, doing trap bar deads, squats, heavy loaded, back squats, Bulgarians, like getting strong as anything. Strong core, getting out running 5Ks, 10Ks. And, you know, his strength was already his upper body because he's doing chest day every day, right? So all of a sudden now he's got strong legs, got a strong core, he's got a good engine on him and endurance. And he looked absolutely insane at his photo shoot. And he done it properly, didn't train the upper body, it recovered. A few weeks before, his upper body was back in the game so he could do some pump work. And this guy looked insane on his photo shoot day. Like, you've seen the photos. Incredible. Yeah, like one of the best ever transformations I've coached and seen. And this guy had no upper body, basically, for the prep.
Yeah.
What a mentality.
I think that's it, isn't it? And again, it just goes back to what we said a minute ago about just coming back from stuff and adapting. People who succeed in life will be the ones who can adapt. I think it's great having a plan, and I always plan stuff, and I always get people to plan stuff, but I always say, like, plan for your ideal day, but you've got to have things in place to counter that when it doesn't work.
Do you know the Mike Tyson quote?
Because, what is it?
Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, and it's true,
yeah.
Right? Having an ideal plan is great, but how often does that actually happen? Especially if you've got kids. They wake up early, they kick off, they get unwell. Right away, that ideal plan's out the window.
Yeah.
Have to stay on at work, you have that extra workload. Ideal plan's gone out the window. You have to be able to adapt. And exactly what Harry done was just adapt again. Same with Georgie. Her sort of passion is for running, and she wants to do high rocks. She had to postpone one. She wants to continue with her running, but she had some issues with her IT band and couldn't do any of that. And instead of like just sulking about it, we just went full in on body composition, strength, rehab. She's got a photo shoot in a few days, and her whole physique and mindset and everything's changed. And she's just said, like, and how positive she is about it is so good. Yeah. And she had two options. She could either sit in it and be like, can't do what I love. Like, I'm just going to take it easy for a few months till it gets better. Or, okay, so my goal's over here. I can't go straight at the moment. I'm going to maybe go round a little bit. I'm still going to get there. Yeah. So them high roxers will absolutely still be smashed. And I can guarantee you now, when she's able to run again properly, she's going to be an absolute monster because the foundations are in place as well. The rehab's done properly. We've still been doing some CV work. We just haven't been able to do maybe what she generically would want to do. And her body composition is in such a good place. Like, it's such a good place.
I think it's just about, like you said, how do you going back to downturns? Like, how do you react to them downturns? And it doesn't even need to just be an injury. Injuries are always, obviously, you can try and prevent them as much as you can through progressing the volume in the right way and the mobility work you do and all that kind of stuff. But in life in general, like when there's a downturn, how do you respond to it? Even if someone, I remember in the past, I got let go from a job that I had, and I didn't actually really like the job, got let go from the job, and it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I ended up going to America, doing a bit of coaching out there. It made me really decide that I want to be a coach. That's my kind of passion and my industry that I want to go into. And at the time, I remember that feeling of being let go. It felt terrible, but actually then it led me to that. And we see it all the time. People have breakups and whatnot, and these moments are what make us, really. Yeah, if you respond in the right way, I guess it's how you respond.
I think that's it. It is just about how you react. And I think sometimes just having someone in your corner or being around the right people, it helps so much, right? Because it gives that different perspective on it. I think when you're in the moment, it's really difficult to actually zoom out. It is hard, right, to zoom out. But there's always going to be positives. There's always positives. Again, something I say all the time is there's always going to be problems, but with problems come solutions.
And I feel like no matter the situation you're in, whether it's, let's say, I don't know, positive, negative, whatever, you have to convince yourself that it is the best possible situation to be in. Like I speak to, obviously, a lot of dads in general, I don't know, when I go to soft play or whatever, and they're always saying about, I've got a child, so I can't really train as much and I can't do this. And I honestly, I understand, like when I'm waking up at silly o'clock or, there's so much that goes into it, and you are more tired and more stressed and you don't really get that downturn. But you almost need to flip it in a positive way, that when you have children, you have a stronger purpose, you're being a role model and an example to them. If you can also be in shape and be strong and fit and have children, like how impressive is that? And it's just about convincing yourself. And I've actually convinced myself so much now, I've almost brainwashed myself that having 3 kids is the best situation to get in shape with. in reality, we know, like, obviously it's going to be tougher, right? And I've actually convinced other people that they're not in shape because they haven't got kids. They think, oh, maybe if I have a kid, I'll get in shape. And it's like, no. The people who haven't got kids need to have the opposite mindset. Right now, I haven't got kids. This is a perfect time to get ahead and get in shape, because when I have kids, it's going to be a lot harder. So you just have to mentally convince yourself. On whatever it is, just tell yourself the right story.
100%. So James, who's a dad, you know James as well.
Yeah.
He one of the things he said, and it was one of his check-ins a few weeks ago, it was like, I'm now working further away, so it means I have to go to the gym even earlier. So he's at the gym at 4:30, but his reasoning behind that is because then he gets more family time in the evening.
Yeah.
So like you said,
Elite.
it is elite, isn't it? Like, but that's what it's about. Like, you find ways. You don't make excuses. You find ways. Like he's got almost a negative. I'm working further away. If I want to get my session, I've got to be up at 4:30. But you know what? I'm going to flip that on a positive. If I get this done, I get that extra family time, which is the most important thing to me. So it is about flipping that negative and into a positive where possible. And you can always find stuff how to flip it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
Yeah. But if you ultimately don't want to make them sacrifices and just don't get what you want out of it, right? It's like the trade-off of what you want as well. And one thing that we always discuss is we always see everyone with the Whoop bands on and they've got a beer in the hand and they're not doing the right things. And it's, I think maybe with the whole device thing, it's like if someone pays for something, they feel like they're just getting something
Instant.
back. It's like, it's the world we live in. We pay for this on Amazon Prime and we get that back. But with health and fitness, I really feel honestly like devices are like the last thing you should look at in the
100%,
transformation.
yeah.
Probably like the last like 5% maybe, once you've got all of the basics in check. I don't know if that's maybe miseducation from some people or whether it is that they're shying away from doing what needs to be done. Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. I think when you see Cristiano Ronaldo with it on, you think, oh, I want to look like that. I'm going to get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But actually, if you listen to a lot of his old interviews, like he talks very openly and honestly about getting out and getting regular sunlight. I definitely don't do that enough, but that's an important one. Obviously, good nutrition, control, plan, training in the gym, resistance training 2-3 times a week. Sleeping 8 hours a night. Like if you just do them, you don't even need any devices. You know what? I'm actually tempted to just rip this thing off. I think I won't even renew that. I don't want to like put Whoop down or anything. But I think once you understand some of your trends, I'm quite happy going off vibes and feel.
Absolutely. And I think, again, people rely on it too much, don't they? There's too many things you've said there in terms of, yes, people rely on it way too much in terms of they see they're in like yellow or red after a bad night's sleep and they think, can't do anything today. Today's a write-off. Not the case at all. Again, just adapt, right? Just adapt. And if you've trained really hard, I think that's such a big misconception. If you've trained really, really hard the day before, you've done a really tough interval session or you've done a real long run, your recovery ain't going to be in green the next day. It's not. If you've trained properly, you're very fortunate if you manage to get your recovery in green next day. So it's about understanding it as well, right? Like understanding the actual device. I don't think people understand what it is.
Someone
these
said to
days.
me, "Oh, George, I've had the green every day for like 2 weeks," and I'm like, "Mate, you need to train hard.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't it should be a cycle, really. Yeah. Like ideally, let's say you're starting off a new training week, the recovery is probably naturally going to dip down from your training stimulus. You have a rest day or an active rest day, it creeps back up. You know, my cycle is pretty much identical every week unless I'm ill. It's like I've rested Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right up in the green, feeling good. After we've smashed intervals and all of that, by like today, Thursday, I'm in the mud. Like I've just done my easy run. My easy run this morning was the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And then hopefully tomorrow I'll be back up again.
Yeah.
And then you come back down and you have your rest. So I guess
again, you've got to understand that, and it is even 5% is being generous. I think I really do think it is. But the amount of people
1 to 3,
if we're being kind, I think the amount of people, I've never seen so many people wear it in one place. The UAE is absolutely filled with people wearing Whoop, and again, it should.
It's great
be the
people are
last
more
thing.
health conscious. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But again, it comes back to the good life of like what do people actually need. And I remember one of my old coaches told me that all you actually need is you could get like a little notepad, like what they call the sticky notes.
Yeah.
And you could get a pen and you could just write on there every day 5 things that you need to do every single day. And that could get you literally in the shape of your life. It could be like calories tick, protein tick, steps, sleep,
train.
Yeah. Tick them 5 things off for 90 days.
You're laughing.
See where you're at.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. I think as well, something
like
that...
supplements and what
so
electrolytes and what Whoop band and what device and them
lifting.
basics are not even talked about. I guess it's not a fun topic to speak about.
Absolutely.
And it's hard as well. Like it's simple but not easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard to do
It is
that
so simple.
consistently.
It is so simple. And again, people, it can get tedious sometimes, right? Like eating the majority of the same meals can be tedious. Going to bed at roughly the same time, waking up at the same time, maybe tedious. being conscious of what you eat and maybe monitoring how much time you go out and drink alcohol, maybe a little bit tedious, spending some of your free time in the gym. Again, some people might find that a little bit tedious, but again, the trade-off, everything you do in life is a trade-off, and the trade-offs you get through health and fitness is the biggest investment you can make in your life, hands down. There's nothing else that even slightly returns close to it. No. I think as well, something about how many people wear Whoop, it just shows you that everyone does want to be healthy, but not everyone's willing to work for it. And I think, again, it goes back to being extreme. It doesn't need to be that extreme. Like, just tick a few things off every single day and you will be so much better. It's only till you're really trying to get super lean or you want to put down some serious performance times. That's when maybe you get into the nitty gritty. But just to level up 50%, just watch what you eat. Have some targets around your nutrition. Be consistent with your sleep.
Absolutely.
Resistance train a little bit and you'll elevate to a completely different place.
Absolutely. So I guess if people are watching this and wondering what TGL coaching is, I mean, just to go into it, it is going to be an online coaching service, right? Primarily, it's going to be people either in the UAE or the UK. Naturally, that's where we are. So we're going to maybe attract that demographic, but it's going to be an online coaching service, programming, education, weekly check-ins, accountability, training plans, nutrition plans. Obviously, it has to be personalized to the likes and dislikes and preferences of someone's nutrition, all that kind of stuff. But what we're adding on with the Good Life, because we've been doing this in the past, I mean, we're adding on a lot more detail, right? We're re-recording our education process. We're upgrading our community to have more education and a bit more of a structured education process. Events, get-togethers. We're going to have our weekly track session every Tuesday. We're potentially toying with the idea of a long run every Saturday as well here in Dubai. We've also got some people meeting up in the UK as well. And we're going to have different events over the years, group photo shoots, monthly events, fingers crossed here in the UAE, whether that's going to be a bit of paddle tennis. I don't really want to do that one. Barbecues, meet-ups, socials. Any other event ideas?
Beach volleyball is one I'm very eager for. We want
football or...
Do we want to show people up or?
I'm just a centre half. I'll just
head and kick.
Go near my feet, mate. It's all over that.
But no, mate, I think you've sort of nailed everything. It's just going to be what we already know we are good at, and we already both provide such a great service. But it's just going to take to the next level from delivery, even the basic stuff like the app itself, the people we're bringing together. And again, yes, we're going to have them events, but also we want to take people around Europe, around the Middle East, about doing high rocks events. We want people to meet up at half marathons and get people training towards a real thing. And that's what we want to bring. We want to fill them voids that online coaching does have, right?
And who would you say TGL is for?
I genuinely believe TGL is for absolutely anybody. And I think you can come at it from different places. You can come at it just wanting to level up. You can come at it because you want to be in a community of people who are winning from all around the world. It is a global coaching service, right? From Mongolia to Australia to the UAE to the UK to I'm sure you can reel off some many more. So it can be people who just want to level up their performance, level up their physique. Maybe they want a personal challenge. Again, maybe they want to be around other winners and actually meet like-minded people and aim towards something. People who are fed up of almost feeling like they're stuck and they need that place to level up. I think one of the most sad things I see is people go to the gym 5-6 days a week, but nothing really changes for them. And there's so many reasons for that. And it's great you get into the gym, but I always think those people, they're doing the hard bit.
Yeah.
They're doing the hard bit. And
Absolutely.
Being around other winners, being held to people with knowledge like me and you and experience like me and you, having that level of accountability. If you feel like you are stuck at a certain level, I promise you've got a lot of levels you can go to and
even
achieve.
Yesterday, the person who's recently joined us has never really stepped foot in a gym, never been confident in a gym, doesn't know what they're doing in a gym, and walks in and feels a little bit embarrassed because they don't know what's right and wrong. They don't want to kind of embarrass themselves.
Absolutely.
So they only do some swimming, a few laps here. So, that's from someone literally beginning and needing to lose weight. And then also, even looking at the track, obviously we had a few members from TGL there. We've got Griselda, who's late 40s, mum of 2, looking to kind of, test her athletic potential. You have, some younger guys who are looking to see where they can take it. You've also got dads there, maybe in the middle ground there, where they're just trying to get a bit of energy for their life and their kids and their work. And it's almost like a stress tolerance thing for them training. So yeah, we're versatile, we're adaptable, we're ready to help, serve. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be special. It truly is going to be special. And anyone I've spoke to, I mean, the responses from our client bases have just been remarkable, right? I mean, people are so invested in it already. They love the message. They love the pillars. They love what's going to come. They love being a part of the community. We are just scratching the surface of what's going to come. It will be a movement.
I'll be buzzing to look at the end of this year and look back at even because, you know, for me, online coaching for the past 5 years, I've got a lot of photos of before and after transformations. How can we get them? But also some photos of them people maybe doing something they've never done with their body before, like a performance event or a hike or us all together somewhere, and like looking back and seeing them memories of us all together. Yes, you know, our online service, which we've got, is delivering amazing results. But now how can we use that to live an even better life and an adventurous life? So I'm sure we'll be up to some cool things. Definitely a few things in mind, and exploring the UAE. Maybe not right now, but we'll be exploring the UAE. We'll be up in the mountains there, and any challenges any of the listeners have got for a TGL, send them our way.
Send them through, yeah.
We're ready to go. We're
absolutely.
ready to go.
It's going to be great. Even just starting the podcast, right?
Yeah.
It's just there's going to be so many pillars that go into it, and it is going to be
our motto. You said it to me. Let's just take action. Let's take action fast. We'll figure it out as we go along. And that's the main thing. We're just ready, hungry, ready to go, ready to serve.
We know it's going to win, right? When we know everyone involved will win, and which is one of the most important things. We know everyone's going to win.
Absolutely. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
Episode 3 done and dusted.
Yeah,
we're still here.
Week, man.
Hopefully there's an episode 4. I'm sure there will be.
Absolutely. Next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you at the next one.
Bye-bye.